permission, Ms. Alpana Dubey, Madam Aparna Patwardhan, Director of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be here today and give a talk on this topic, the timeless relevance of Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji harmonized the East and the West, religion and science, past and present, and that is why he is great. Our countrymen have gained unprecedented self-respect, self-reliance, and self-assertion from his teachings. This is I quoted from Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. According to this statement, throughout his life, Swami Vivekananda was dedicated to uplifting the vulnerable in society. He also connected the essence of India's religions to the Western world and beyond. His contributions are timeless, which can be discussed and learned. He was born on January 12, 1863, and gives the name as Narendranath Dutta. His father was Vishwanath Dutta, a successful attorney, and his mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi, was a religious lady who had a strong influence on her son. They were an affluent Bengali family in Calcutta. Narendranath was one of 9 siblings. From this point, we can learn from Indian culture that family is the strongest background for grooming children to be good. Moreover, the mother, who is also a housewife and takes care of the household, plays an important role in their children's well-being. Many Indian leaders, in fact, were inspired religiously by their mothers and surrounding senior family members. Narendranath's youth was spent gaining worldly knowledge in a wide range of subjects, including philosophy, religion, history, social science, art, and literature. He was also interested in the Hindu scriptures, including the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas. He was trained in Indian classical music and regularly participated in physical exercise, sports, and organized activities. Narendranath studied Western logic, Western philosophy, and European history. He was known for his prodigious memory and ability at speed reading. In 1884, he completed a Bachelor of Arts degree from Presidency College, Calcutta. We may see that from boyhood to youth life, he spent according to the Brahmacharya. His worldly knowledge and spiritual practices provided a strong background for advancement in his life. This is a good example for the young generation to spend our lifetime applying right knowledge. Moreover, people of any age should find time for regular physical exercise, which will help them get fit and firm and stay healthy. After his father's death, his family went bankrupt. He unsuccessfully tried to find work and question God's existence, but found solace in Ramakrishna, and his visit to Dakshineswar increased. With his Brahmo Samaj background, Narendranath opposed idol worship, polytheism, and Ramakrishna's worship of Kali. Narendranath tested Ramakrishna, who faced his arguments patiently. Try to see the truth from all angles, he replied. We may see that as he was born to be a sage, and a negative home incident pushed him to find the spiritual life. He described to know about existence of God. He met Sri Ramakrishna at the Kali temple in Dakshineswar and asked his master's question, which he had put to several others but had received no satisfactory answer. Sir, have you seen God? Without a moment's hesitation, Sri Ramakrishna replied, yes, I have. I see him as clearly as I see you, only in a much intenser sense. In line with the traditional characteristics of a guru, Ramakrishna was patient and open-minded. He didn't force Narendranath to believe in him, but reminded him to consider and judge anything from all perspectives, which helped him to find the truth. We can learn from this that we shouldn't judge others by simply using our own knowledge or experiences, but learn from others and adjust our ideas or ourselves accordingly. We should accept diversity which exists everywhere. Narendranath was a truth seeker and showed the virtue that one must not stop to seek for the truth until satisfied with reasonable knowledge and correct path. Narendranath and several other disciples received ochre robes from Ramakrishna, forming his first monastic order. Ramakrishna asked him to care for the other monastic disciples and in turn asked them to see Narendranath as their leader. Ramakrishna died in the early morning hours of the 16th August 1886. His guru Ramakrishna foresaw Narendranath's ability to be the successor and continue his mission. However, after the guru's death, support from his devotees dwindled. Many disciples left and returned home. Narendranath and other disciples moved to convert a dilapidated house at Baranagar into a new monastery for the remaining disciples. They maintained themselves by holy baking. This place was the first building of Ramakrishna Math, where Narendranath and other disciples used to spend many hours practicing meditation and religious austerities daily. In December 1886, Narendranath and 8 other disciples took formal monastic vows at Antpur village to live their lives as their master had lived. Narendranath took the name Swami Vivekananda. He was 23 years old when he formally joined the monkhood. From this example, we can learn from Swami Vivekananda's actions. Although this was then 100 years ago, 21st century skills are not all that is required for the young generation. Swami Vivekananda's methods can be together with some 21st century skills such as critical thinking, flexibility, and leadership. So next part is travel in India, 1988 to 1893. Travel is discovery. In 1888, now Swami Vivekananda left the monastery as a wandering monk with a water pot, staff, and his 2 favorite books, Bhagavad Gita and The Imitation of Christ. He traveled extensively in India for 5 years, visiting centers of learning and acquainting himself with diverse religious traditions and social patterns. He met all kinds of people and learned all he could about multicultural, multilingual, and multi-religious Indian society. His experiences during these 5 years were very variable, informing this creative, sharpened, and profound Indian philosopher and Hindu Swami. This is the good example that if you want to know and learn the reality in society, you have to experience it directly and eyewitness or personally. If the youth have the chance to experience widely and openly like this, they will accumulate many valuable experiences to serve them in their future work, lives, and values. As for our leaders, rather than relying on information, reports, and data passed to them by staff and advisor, if they actually go out to visit and share with the people officially and casually throughout the country, they will get to know and understand the realities of their lives in many dimensions, the problems they face, their hopes, their expectations. That way they can know They can know the truth of people's lives and honestly help them. Otherwise, things are merely managed or glossed over, but the really big problems are hidden or swept. So the next one is first visit to the West. As Ambassador told you shortly, so I will describe more. Swami Vivekananda was invited as a representative of Hinduism from India to participate in the Parliament of Religions at Chicago. The Parliament of Religions was a gathering of all the religions of the world, with around 7,000 people, representatives of the different faiths and countries. Swami started his speech by addressing his sister and brothers of America. This opening astonished many in the audience. This was because Westerners tend to treat others as equals, but not as relatives or siblings like in India or other parts of Asia. So they were taken aback somewhat by the inclusive and family orientation of the Indian Swamiji. This reveals Swamiji's true wisdom in suggesting all were as one. As for the content of his speech, Swami had the courage and boldness to share with the world the greatness of Hindu philosophy and religion. He dwelt at length upon the basic unity of all religions. He told them about the philosophy of Vedanta, which teaches that every individual is a reflection of God. Swamiji became a global celebrity overnight. He came to be seen as a true representative of Indian civilization, and pictures of him were displayed all over the city of Chicago. He visited different parts of Europe and met many foreigners. Later on, Swamiji established the Ramakrishna Mission, a social, religious, and cultural foundation. He wrote several books. His divinity was evident to Indians through his speech and works. So what are his important teachings? Swami Vivekananda is an iconic figure in modern Indian history, ranking amongst the greatest. In India, he is regarded as a patriotic saint, and his birthday is celebrated as National Youth Day. He inspired countless generations in India and the Western world. His speeches and teachings focus on pride in India and human development. For him, human development means self-development for spiritual uplifting, capacity building, caring for, sharing and serving mankind, and loving the nation. So I just give you some example as the following example. The first one, religion. Swami Vivekananda followed the Vedanta. Religion is realization. Okay. As he stated, number one, it is being and becoming, not hearing or acknowledging. It is the whole soul becoming changed into what it believes. He felt that religion is the essence of all worship, which is to be pure and to do good to others. According to Swamiji, man is potentially divine, so service to mankind is indeed service to God. Harmony of religions. Swami Vivekananda believed that the greatest misfortune of the world is not tolerate and accept other religions. In his lecture to Parliament of Religion, he told the story of a frog who lived in a well all his life. The frog was born there and grew up there, and he thought that nothing in the world could be bigger than the well. Swami Vivekananda concluded the story. I am a Hindu. I am sitting in my own little well and thinking that the whole world is my little well. The Christian sits in his little well and thinks the whole world is his well. The Mohammed sits in his little well and thinks that he is the whole world. So another example, the greatest misfortune to befall the world would be if all mankind were to recognize and accept but one religion, one universal form of worship, one standard of morality. This would be the dead blow to our religious and spiritual progress. Swamiji explained that we must not only tolerate other religions, but positively embrace them, and that the truth is the basis of all religions. Although Swamiji traveled to the US for the first time, his ideas and wisdom were very advanced and very much linked to the core principle of the Vedanta. This was difficult for many Western listeners. This fundamental concept is the whole world exists in brotherhood and can be applied to this era with its numerous conflicts in the world, rooted in political issues linked to religious conflict, making life for many insecure. Religious diversity is a fact in most countries in the world. Therefore, respect for others is respect for God as taught by the Swamiji. So the next topic of the teaching of Swami is patriotism and union. Swami messages delivered at the end of the 19th century is positive, universal and inspirational. He was proud of India and encouraged Indians to be proud of Indian civilization and all the religions it gave to the world. Some example of his teaching include, so like number 4, when the real history of India will be unearthed, it will be proof that as in matters of religion, so in fine arts, India is primal guru of the whole world. Another one, history itself bears testimony to the fact, or the soul elevating ideas and the different branches of knowledge that exist in the world are found on proper investigation to have their roots in India. During British colonial time, India was divided and fragmented. Swamiji was convinced that India should end her fragmentation and be united. He argued, like number 6, for our national welfare, India must gather up of its scattered spiritual forces. India must be a union of those whose hearts beat to the same spiritual tune. Political unions are common in many countries and contribute to the peace and well-being of this society. Diversity is normal and beautiful if people are open-minded and respect each other. People should be free to think and act according to just laws, and governments must act on their behalf for the good of the people and with their trust. Another topic is strengthening internal self-confidence and self-determination. If we closely study the words of Swamiji, we can see that he tried to encourage Indian people during colonial times to have internal self-confidence in order to stand on their own 2 feet with strength and courage, help each other and strive for independence. Like example in number 7, you cannot believe in God until you believe in yourself. In one word, this ideal is that you are divine. Or number 9, believe in yourself and the world will be at your feet. Swamiji taught people to do meditation and select one of 4 paths for his or her salvation, such as, number 10. Meditation can turn fools into sages, but unfortunately, fools never meditate. Or number 11, jhana, bhakti, yoga, and karma. These are the 4 paths which lead to salvation. One must follow the path for which one is best suited. But in this age, special stress should be laid on karma yoga. Of these, meditation and yoga especially can be applied today to relieve the stress of birth and modern life. Stress causes fatigue, mental and physical duress. Yoga and meditation are traditional and proven means to well-being, fortifying the immune system and easing tension. Yoga is not only Indian heritage, it is for a treasure of the whole world. Furthermore, Swamiji taught people who want to succeed in their lives should be determined and not give up. He said, like number 12, we are what our thoughts have made us. So take care about what you think. What's secondary thoughts leave, they travel far. Or number 13, take up one idea. Make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. This is the way to success. This is a timeless message, relevant then and today. Successful people share both positive and negative aspects of their knowledge and experiences, but they are determined to realize these ideas and dreams. Societies have developed over time, became to their thinkers and doers who never give up. Innovations has been key since the beginning of mankind. When we dream and have good ideas, try to make those ideas come into reality. So the next topic that he taught is social service. He focused on service to others as the core of one's actions. The meaning of service of Swami Vivekananda is the gift of all worship, to be pure and to do good to others. He who sees Jiva in the poor, in the weak, and in the deceased really worships Jiva. And if he sees Jiva only in the image, his worship is but preliminary. His words reflect the concept of Indian spiritual thinking that serving the poor is worshipping the God. According to Hindu Vedanta, every being, every particle in the universe is divine and linked to each other. Therefore, when we do service and help a poor person, we are doing no act of kindness. Since we are linked with each other, helping the needy is tantamount to helping oneself. Charity is not service in the true sense. The recipient of a charitable deed is not inferior to the giver. Service has to be done with humility, otherwise it is not service, as he said, like number 14. If I had 1,000 lives, every moment of the whole series would be consecrated to your service, my countrymen, my friends. Or another one, I have given you advice enough, now put at least something in practice. Let the world see that your reading of the scriptures and listening to me has been a success. Another one, practical patriotism mean not a mere sentiment or even emotions of love of the motherland, but a passion to serve our fellow countrymen. According to these examples, Swami would like to see people with knowledge be able to implement it for the well-being or benefit of mankind. This concept can be applied in the modern day. Globalization impacts in both positive and negative ways. For the positive impacts, not everyone benefits. And for the negative, most are impacted effects unavoidably. As we are confronted by many global or transnational issues, such as pollution and the lack of fresh air because of the PM 0.25, which comes with urbanization, chaotic traffic in the cities, smoke from burn-offs in many regions and countries, natural disaster, irresponsible garbage disposal, transnational drugs, crime, terrorism, infectious diseases, refugee crisis, and internally displaced in various religions of the world, etc. These examples show that our world is unstable and unsecure the way it is, despite many innovative and convenient products to make living easier. Many people are unhappy. Migrants or refugees flee their homeland because of unexpected incidents by others affecting to their life security. Loneliness, depression, and stress often lead to mental ill health and sometimes suicide. The high pace of urban life creates spiritual and physical problems for many people. Therefore, according to Swamiji's teaching, we shouldn't lose heart with these impacts. So long as we have wisdom and willpower, we should be stable and able to choose what really necessary and avoid the unnecessary in our lives. Do not be problem makers, but problem solvers. Furthermore, we should help others when we have opportunity, which is known as corporate social responsibility or CSR, and social engagement today, including taking care of environment in order to maintain the world qualified and livable for this generation and the following generations. Another topic that he taught is empowering the youth and other age groups. Swamiji valued the youth, as Ambassador mentioned already, as the hope and future of the country. Therefore, the youth should utilize this special period of their lives to be worthy, qualified, and good citizens of the country and the world. As example, number 17. Youth is the best time. The way in which you utilize this period will decide the nature of coming years that lies ahead of you. Or the supreme value of youth periods is incalculable and indescribable. Youth life is the most precious life. Anything that makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject as poison. Or the last, or 20. If you can think that infinite power, infinite knowledge, and indomitable energy lie within you, and if you can bring out that power, you also can become like me. Or do not lower your goals to the level of your abilities. Instead, raise your abilities to the height of your goals. From these examples, we can see that Swami encouraged and challenged people of all ages to be energized. They can apply these teachings for conducting their lives meaningfully, positively, and actively with good health and strong spirituality. Working with strong intention and passion to achieve our goals should be our focus. The country will develop through the effort of qualified and determined citizens. Another topic that Swami taught and focused is gender equality. Swamiji had a fair and neutral view of gender. According to the Vedanta, there is no sex distinction in Atman or soul. The soul has neither sex nor caste nor imperfection. They are only human beings. Therefore, he held the view that women should be empowered through education and training, which would help India to develop. He insisted that women should be put in positions of power to solve their own problems in their own way. And this is not possible without education. He prepared a different education curriculum for women using their mother tongues as the medium of instruction. So example 22. Soul has no sex, it is neither male nor female. It is only in the body that sex exists. And the man who desires to reach the spirit cannot at the same time hold sex distinctions. Another one. There is no chance for the welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. The next one, the idea of perfect womanhood is perfect independence. Another one, there is no hope of rise for that family or country where there is no estimation of women, where they live in sadness. Another one is educate your women first and leave them to themselves. Then they will tell you what reforms are necessary for them. In matter concerning them, who are you? Swamiji's teaching on gender empowerment is relevant even today. He applied the Vedanta philosophy regarding women's equality with men together with experience of the West to educate Indian people. He realized that women played the major roles in both family and society and had equal capacities and abilities as men. If they were empowered with knowledge through education and training, they would be qualified and powerful citizens who could help Mother India become developed and gains independence. Another modern issue related to his idea is using mother tongues to teach women, which has proven effective for many groups in multilingual societies to learn effectively. His views and actions towards women should be accepted by Indian men and pursued today. Men should be more open-minded and respect women as their mothers, sisters, and daughters. Moreover, women should be given opportunities and freedom in their life equally to men. Both men and women have the roles equally to nourish the family and develop the country. In Thai, we say that a man who is like the front legs of an elephant should go along well with a woman who is like the back legs of elephant. Furthermore, education which builds character and instills human value is in students was focused on by Swamiji as a powerful tool to empower all Indians as example. The education which does not help the common mass of people to equip themselves for the struggle for life, which does not bring out strength of character, a spirit of philanthropy, and the courage of a lion. Is it worth the name? Real education is that which enables one to stand on one's own legs. If our society comprise educated, talented, and people of merit, it will be assured that many new initiatives will arise, needing the capabilities of the young generation to develop, act, and accomplish it for their own futures and for the benefit of generations to come. So through Swami Vivekananda lived for just 39 years. His teachings are very valuable. He is praised as an icon for the youth of India. His teachings are timeless and relevant from his time until now. This suggests that no matter the era or culture, the nature of human beings does not change much. His teachings can be applied as a transnational concept relevant to Thai society, which is open and diverse. Moreover, the fast changes today led by socio-economics, including digital technology, have also disrupted and impacted our daily lives. There are many who cannot keep up with rapid changes and adjust accordingly. Therefore, people of all ages suffer physical and mental problems. For this reason, if people earnestly practice their religion to bolster their inner strength, aware of the changes and applying them in daily life according to the middle path, they may not suffer so much from disruptive changes. Moreover, the young generation who are now called Gen Y and Gen Z should have cultivate a sense of religiosity, study hard, and nurture disciplines, patience, responsibility, creativity, determination, and enthusiasm. They will present themselves as consummate model citizens of their country and the world. Furthermore, for the well-being of society, people should care for and share with others. We will remain insecure so long as society is in trouble and unstable. We should develop the society sustainably for future generations. The young generation should prepare themselves to inherit this world with all its issues and ensure that they pass it on to the next generation in a better state than the one they received in it. More than a simple nod to Swami Vivekananda's wisdom and teachings may help them do just that. Thank you very much.